You know the fucking vibes.
In this city we love, yeah. It's always time to get litty, real spit. Politics about who buzzing, who moving, who really getting busy. Put some drink in my cup, let me vibe, let me talk my stuff. Cause you know we living it up. This for the ones that wasn't enough. If you litty enough, and you know you one way up, can't nobody really tell you nothing, nah. Can't nobody really say much. Oh God, I like to introduce you to the litty, yeah. Welcome to the function, baby, yeah. Litty Show, it's the Litty Show, yeah. It's the Litty Show, it's the Litty Show, oh yeah.
You know the fucking vibes. My name is Litty Willie, and today we're at the beautiful Lakou. As you see, we're just chilling in the backyard of Lakou.
Facts.
And I'm interviewing the grandchild of the people who created the name Little Haiti.
You coined the name Little Haiti for Little Haiti.
That's it. We got Kadon in the building.
What's up? What's up? What's
How you
up,
feeling?
Man, I'm chilling, man.
How you doing?
I appreciate you coming out of Little Haiti and come kicking it, man.
Listen, I appreciate you having me. This is like such a vibe right now. You don't understand,
man,
bro.
dope, man. Right now we at Lakou. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is why I do my comedy shows as well, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you guys know. You guys come support. You know, y'all bring the vibes as well, you know?
I just feel like I feel like I'm on the island right now.
Nah, that's what it feels. It's a backyard vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Backyard just chilling. Got the wind blowing on us. You know what I mean? I mean, what else can we ask for? A beautiful day?
God's good, bro.
It is what it is, right?
God's good.
All day.
Let's jump straight into it, man.
Talk to me.
Richmond Heights raised.
That's right.
That's where Kadon's story began.
Yeah, definitely from Richmond Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in Richmond Heights. Also, we had another house in Country Walk too.
Okay.
But that came like when I turned 5. You know, my dad's business started doing good.
Right.
So we decided to buy another house in Country Walk. But we always kept the house in Richmond Heights as well too.
Okay.
Brought my grandmother in from Queens, New York.
Okay.
She ended up moving down. She left Queens. She ended up moving down to South Florida, and then she took over the house in Richmond Heights. And then that way, my brother and I can go back and forth. You know what I mean?
So that's Let me ask you a question. The grandparents that created, and we're gonna get into that. But the grandparents that inspired the Little Haiti movement, Little Haiti name, is that from your father's side or your mother's side?
Okay, so as far as Little Haiti goes, my mother's side.
Okay.
Richmond Heights side is my father's side.
Got you.
That's the grandmother that really raised us mostly. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Living down south. So yeah.
Talk to me about growing up in that country. What is it?
Well, Country Walk area too.
Country Walk in Richmond.
Richmond
How
Heights.
was it growing up in that area?
Well, I mean, I can start with Richmond Heights, man. Like, you know, growing up in the Heights, man. You know, for me and my brother, you know, it was good, but it was rough too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what made it rough, because you know, because my grandmother, you know, she had a very heavy Haitian accent coming from New York. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when the kids in the block, you know, you grow up in a neighborhood full of mostly Americans and some Jamaicans too.
Right.
But mostly the American kids, man, you know what I mean, they used to pick on us.
It was rough.
It was rough, you know what I mean? So best believe, like most Haitian kids that grew up around our time, and no matter what part of South Florida, you know, you had to come up a little rough, man. You had to come up fighting, you know what I mean? Just because of being Haitian. You get picked on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Got all kind of names for you, man. You know what I'm saying? And then you going to school, I went to Palmetto Elementary. You know what I mean? So get on the bus in the neighborhood, on the bus, get to school, you know, a lot of harassment, a lot of issues.
Right.
So we dealt with it, you know what I mean? We worked it out, you know, and it's crazy because most of the kids that we end up fighting and getting into it, we became friends within time.
Right.
You know, we just had to establish our presence, you know?
And you know, I experienced that moving down here because I moved to Miami in 2003.
Yeah.
And I moved to Homestead. And when I moved to Homestead at the time, it was Haitians versus Americans in the school. It was a consistent just battle, and I'm happy today that it, like you said, everybody that was fighting each other today are just best friends and things like that. But what do you think is that separation? What causes that separation at young ages?
I think it was ignorance, man. Ignorance coming from more of, you know, I'm Haitian American, you know, born in the States, but you know, our parents used to say Black Americans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it came from the ignorance from the Black American side.
Right.
You know, not really knowing who we were, you know, what we brought to the table, our history.
Right.
You know what I mean, of 1804 and things of that nature.
Right.
You know, and them just watching the news, man, and seeing all the negativity that the news used to put out on us, you know?
Right.
So they picked that up, man, and, you know, when they saw us, man, they took it out on us,
right.
You know? But we gave it back to them as well,
little
too.
Did they know Haitians are a very strong and prideful culture, ethnicity. So you don't go down just like that.
Nah. But let me tell you, though, like my grandmother, right, on my dad's side, and on this side as well, too, but on my grandma on my dad's side was like, she like, if you come home and you ran or you get beat up, you don't fight back, and I find out about it, I'm whipping your ass.
You gonna get another
and my
ass
mother was
whooping.
the same way too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they was okay with the fights and getting suspended. You know what I mean, from school, just as long as we stood up for
Stood
ourselves.
for yourself. Right.
And that's the only, like, we didn't start no fights. We didn't start no issues.
Right.
But that constant picking, man, was some type of harassment.
Right.
Now I ain't gonna say all my partners down the Heights were like that.
No.
But a good amount of influential group of kids
Right.
that ran the block, they was the ones that kind of started that situation. But we dealt with it, man, and we handled it.
Handled it.
And it wasn't like all violence every single day.
No.
But we definitely set our presence, man. And
it was called, like, as they say now, it was more like a hazing thing.
I wouldn't say hazing. I'll say more like just harassment.
Harassment.
Yeah, trying to belittle, trying to destroy your self-esteem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
because they weren't happy with themselves.
yeah, they was happy with themselves, man.
Right.
And they feel like they had the upper hand. They feel like we was the foreigners.
Yeah.
Coming into their neighborhood.
Yeah. I was fucked when I came here because I didn't speak Spanish. I wasn't Haitian. I wasn't black. I wasn't from Florida City.
Oh,
I
damn.
wasn't from Naranja. I wasn't Cuban. And the worst part about it, I wasn't from Miami.
Oh, damn.
So I didn't fit in nowhere when I got. So you think you had it bad?
Hey, I could imagine, huh? Could imagine. But
most memorable childhood memory you have growing up in those two areas?
Well, if you want to bring it back to Country Walk, where we started spending time over when we moved over there as well too. It's funny, man, because I only got one good white boy best friend. It's like my brother, Scott. That's on the Country Walk side. Shout out to Scott. Matter of fact, it wasn't for Scott, not to fast forward, but DJ EFN. That's how I met DJ EFN, through Scott. We called him Eric back then. It wasn't no CHP like that. It wasn't no Drink Champs. It wasn't none of the stuff. He wasn't the mixtape king, which was Eric and his homeboy Humphrey. So Eric had a best friend named Humphrey. So Scott introduced us. Scott was a white boy with spikes in his hair.
Yeah.
Probably the blackest, whitest kid I can ever imagine. And he went to an all black school, which was Richmond Middle.
Oh, so he was.
Yeah, so he was already, he already had it in him. He was solidified, you know what I mean? But growing up over there, man, in Country Walk, man, we got into a lot of stuff over there too, man. Just doing a lot of mischievous stuff, man. Playing football in the streets, you know what I mean? We used to play football against the trailer park kids, things of that nature. And then we used to bring Scott sometimes over to Richmond Heights on our side, you know what I mean?
He got the pass?
Yeah, he got the pass for sure.
He was good.
And the whole neighborhood would be out. And they'll be like, man, who this white boy y'all bringing to the neighborhood? Like, man, he's one of us. He's our partner, man. He go to my grandma's house, you know what I mean? They're like, all right, we like him.
Y'all probably look like Day and Roach walking through
something like that, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is, man. You know what I mean? So the best of both worlds, even in Country Walk, we experienced some type of racism.
Right.
We had a trailer park, like a redneck trailer park across the street.
Yeah.
So we had to deal with that when they saw me and my brother, you know what I mean, walk through it. But one of the most memorable things that happened in Country Walk, I'll never forget it. And I got a lot of stories in Country Walk. The time that me and my brother got harassed by some trailer park white boys, you know what I mean?
Right.
We ended up going to one of the pools in the trailer park during the summertime. And then, a group of white kids got together, started plotting on us, me and my older brother.
Wow.
And then, so one of them, I'll never forget his name. His name was Tommy, redneck little dude. He came, he was older than me and my brother. Everyone was bigger than us. He told us to get out the pool. He like, nah, y'all niggas can't be here. Y'all niggas gotta get out the pool. I remember like yesterday. So he addressed his attention to my brother. Right. My brother was older. My brother's very feisty, you know what I'm saying? So my brother was like, so we was kind of like, we was outnumbered, when I'm young, I'm like 9 years old, Ross is like 12. And then he's like, y'all niggas need to get out the pool. He had a little trailer park homies with him. So I ran to my brother real quick. Like I swam over to my brother's side real quick. I said, Ross, call him a cracker. Call him a cracker. I had just learned that word through my partners in Richmond Heights. I said, call him a cracker. So my brother said, man, shut up, cracker. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Not to make it a race thing, I'm just saying.
That was back in the days. Listen.
And then and Tommy was like, what? And then my brother jumped out the pool and jumped in his face like, you heard what I said, cracker? So he pushed my brother in the pool. My brother fell in the pool. And I remember, and that's when I got a little closer and I started coming. My brother jumped out of the pool so quick. And my brother hit him with a 4-5 piece, man. Just bam, 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 bam. And I'm watching it, so I jump out the pool, make sure none of the younger dudes jump in,
Right.
But once they saw Ross's killer combination, you know what I mean? And Ross gave it to him. Bop, 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 bop. So he fell, got up, ran home. Now this is the crazy shit about it. Tommy took off. So now for us to leave, we had to take that same road that Tommy's trailer park home was on, where he lived, right?
Yeah. You had to walk.
We had to walk through it. We had to walk back home to get back to our house. So I remember telling Ross, like, I said, damn, like, be careful. Like, let's be careful when we get back to his house, because ain't no telling. Now we coming from the pool, walking down, everything is clear. It's too quiet.
Yeah.
You know, people say when it's
like
too quiet,
Wild
be careful.
West.
It was too quiet. We know they around. You know what I'm saying?
They plotting.
They plot, but we can't see none of them. So as we get literally like in front of his trailer, and we're still walking. Like I said, we had to walk past the street to get to our crib. Tommy came out the bushes like a goddamn, like a mad Anglo-Saxon, you know, redneck. Came out with a Rambo with a long ass bamboo stick, man. Talking about that stick was long as hell. You know what I mean?
Kendo stick from the wrestling.
Oh man, he came out with a goddamn Swahili stick, man, and so I kind of like separated myself. My brother did. And I was like, Ross, run, because he ain't for my brother.
Yeah.
So my brother took off, and then he got so close when he swung the stick, hit my brother in the back.
Oh.
And scarred my brother's back up. You know what I mean? My brother recovered from that. He kept going.
Yeah.
So he ran. I didn't run. You know what I'm saying?
But now you stuck.
Now I'm stuck, but at the same time, like, I'm still telling myself at the time, like, well, maybe I got to deal with Tommy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Tommy hit my brother, and then he kind of walked back into the trailer home. So now I'm like, oh, he getting some more shit.
Yeah.
So let me get up out of there too. You know what I'm saying?
Now too.
Yeah. So he struck and he ducked off. So I went ahead and I ducked off. I mean, I walked slowly. I ran to the house too. I got to the crib. I saw my dad putting alcohol on my brother's back. And my dad was like, what happened? When we telling my dad what happened,
Yeah.
he was like, you guys, so you beat him up. He was telling my brother Ross, he's like, you beat him up. Ross was like, yeah, I beat him up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, Tommy's mom pulls up in front of our house. Oh, I forgot too, when they was fighting. Sorry, let me go back.
Yeah.
After my brother knocked him down, Tommy got up and grabbed my brother and put my brother in the headlock. My brother bit the shit out of his ass.
Ooh.
Bit the shit out of him.
That or you go to sleep.
I forgot that part. That's a very important part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bit the shit out of him. That what made Tommy run home. You know what I'm saying? Right. So now Tommy's and the rednecks, they pull up in this old redneck truck, you know, like the hillbillies and shit. They confront my dad. They're like, yo, what if your son got AIDS? What if he got rabies? And all kind of hateful shit she was saying, right? My dad was like, listen, we ain't got none of that shit. Get the fuck out of my yard. Right. That's good for your son. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So so as that started carrying on, we thought it wasn't over with. Because his mom was like, it ain't over for your son.
Oh, so she said it like that.
Yeah, she said it like that. And they took off. Boom. So we made a phone call to Richmond Heights.
Right.
You know, so we called our partners in Richmond Heights. Now from Richmond Heights to Country Walk, you're looking at a 2-mile radius.
Right. It's not that far.
It's far enough.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's not that far. But 2-mile radius. Made the phone call. Man, 6 or 7, maybe 8 of our partners walked from Richmond Heights.
Oh, so they walked.
They walked from Richmond Heights all the way down to Country Walk.
Real love, right?
They got there within like 2 hours.
Real love.
Once we made that call.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Tino, Dan, Mangum, you know, Dan locked up now, but Shan, his cousins, it was like about 6 or 8 of them. They came like 2 hours later. Oh, we heard the door ringing. Reno. Looked out, my dad looked out, my dad was like, oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
They came in, we let them all in the house. My dad was like, you guys gonna go down there and take care of it? And I told you, my old boy was with it.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah. So we all marched down, went Tommy block, went to his trailer home. Ross knocked on the door. Your boys were nowhere to be found.
What the mom said?
The mom was like, the mom didn't even come out. She was talking through the screen.
Yeah.
Why you look, my boy? All y'all niggas in my house. Yeah, we came for some get back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So we couldn't find them. You know, we walked around the whole trailer park, which was pretty good, pretty big. And yeah, man, we all went back to the house. Old boy cooked. You know what I mean? And it took everybody home. You know what I mean? So that's just one of the memories we had, man.
Most memorable moment of Richmond Heights.
So bringing the Heights down to Country Walk, man, and having my partners, man, have our back.
Yeah, Country Walk.
Some racist shit, you know what I mean?
Had the crew walking through.
Yeah, man, but that's just one of the things, man. But besides that, man, you know, got a whole bunch of different
stories. Yeah, we can make a Richmond Heights episode if we did one day.
Oh, we could do all
stories
that,
all day.
Do that. And I got stories with Earfin. I got stories with Scott on other shit. We got a lot of stories, man.
You know what? Scott should have been there to be the middleman between everybody and told the Americans. Hey.
You know what? I don't think Scott. We Scott was doing what he was doing somewhere else. I think Scott was in Boca visiting his grandparents.
Yeah.
But we told him the story.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh shit!" And he was like, "Oh, I wish I was there. I would have went." I said, "No, we took care of it. Scott is all good."
Infiltrate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You dibble dabble in a lot of things. We see you doing your comedy thing. We see you do. You know, you're doing things with EFN and Drink Champs. Shout out to the whole CHP. But one thing that you still rock with, and one thing that you're strong on, is your oils.
Oh, the body oils, yeah, for sure.
Talk to me about the oils, because listen, I remember, and you know, it struck a nostalgic bone in my body, because like I told you,
I got one right here for you. That's yours.
Oh, this is mine.
Yeah, that's gonna be you.
Appreciate you, brother. I gotta smell it on camera and make sure.
You know, too bad we ain't got a smell of you, but it's all good, man. That's yours, right?
Honest answers.
No water, no alcohol, no animal byproducts.
A1.
I've been pushing the oils for like.
But I want to tell you why. I started to cut you, but
No,
I want to tell you how it hit a nostalgic bone for me, because I told you I was raised in New York, and I remember going to school, seeing the African men on the corners with nothing but like tables and tables of oils, and like this. In New York, you really didn't have to go buy expensive cologne because you could go to the corners. You know, there was bootleg shit that could get you rashes and things like that, but you know who to go to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But usually the African people on the corners had tables and tables of just oils and oils. So when I seen you were doing that, I was like, damn, somebody still got the passion of the oils.
Well, I mean, I let me tell you how it started, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I was really not into that shit.
Okay.
I think it started like in maybe 2000 or something like that. You know, I had a rap group, my boy Tito, DB. You know, we had a rap group called the Bandits. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. So we was gonna open up. So we went down on South Beach. Well, the next day or a few days, we was gonna try to apply for this thing for South Beach where we can open up for an artist.
Right.
But it was like a judging thing with artists. It was like judges. It was Wyclef and two other DJs, well-known artists, and they were judging acts to open up for, I think, an event that Wyclef was actually gonna do on the beach.
Right.
So me and my partner, we signed up for it, and we had to pay for it, and we had to do auditions. So me and him, we broke as fuck in Richmond Heights, man. We trying to figure out, like, okay, we need some clothes, bro. We can't go, you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna
need at least pull at least about $100, $150, you know, shirt for you, shirt for me, pants for me, maybe get some new shoes. So we trying to figure out how we gonna make some money real quick. So my partner Tito, man, he goes, man, hey dog, yo, listen, man, I know you don't fuck with this shit. He said, but his older brother, he's like, man, my brother left a whole bunch of oils, incense, all kind of shit that his brother was selling. You know what I'm saying? He was like, listen, man, we can grab the stash. Let's go out to a spot down in Perrine called Ran Jam. If you know about down south, you know about Ran Jam. You're from Perrine, Richmond Heights, Colonial. So, you know, and I know the owner, Teddy. I had a good relationship with Teddy. I used to do business, certain things with him, right? So I was like, he's like, let's grab these oils and the incense. Let's go down to Perrine. Let's hit Ran Jam. Where's that? Where everybody's at? Let's sell them. So we grabbed them up. And I'm like, man, that's the only plan you got. Like, we can't come with some other shit. He's like, dog, I'm telling you, dog, trust me, this shit's gonna sell.
It's like having a pound of Reggie and just saying, yo, we gotta sell this.
That's really what it is. But we took it to a Jamaican spot.
Right.
So we're like, all right, fuck it. So we grabbed the shit and we shoot down to Perrine, hit Ran Jam. So before we start selling anything, I want to go talk to Teddy. Make sure it was okay with him.
Good,
you know what I mean?
Step on no feet.
Yeah, and there was a lot of dreads out there, a lot of people in the back, they were doing their thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I holler at Teddy and I'm like, I said, Teddy, listen, man, I got these oils, these products. I want to sell them, trying to make some money real quick back here. Teddy like, oh man, you don't gotta ask me. Go and fucking do your thing.
Right.
So what happened was I went out there, we started selling the shit, so some Jamaican niggas started going off on us, started talking shit to us. Bomber Cloud, So I said, all right, I got something for that nigga. Went back, I hollered at Teddy. I said, Teddy, I got a little issue back here. You know what I'm saying? Got a dread over there, he talking shit, you know, he's fucking up the business. Yeah. Teddy said, who it is? He started doing anything, you show me the money. So Teddy come out with me, we point his ass out. Teddy went straight to his ass. Wow. All I know, this dude with the, I'm sorry, man, you know, I'm just thinking, I'm just a liquor, you know, I'm sorry, man, this is your home, you do your thing. So we killed that shit quick. So Teddy said, now you can go ahead and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Any other issue, come see me. Yeah. Killed that shit, man. So
there was no other issues after that.
No other issues after that. Everyone was all, matter of fact, niggas were buying.
Love, yeah.
Love. Come over here, come. So we sell it. So we made a little quick $150, sold all the product out. We left with nothing, incense, oils. And that's why I looked at Tito, I was like, damn, motherfucker, you got some shit. Boy, that was a good move right there. And then next day we got up early, you know, I think we went to Marshalls and shit. We bought our clothes. And then later on that day we did the audition down on South Beach. You know what I mean?
You seen the potential in the sale.
I seen the potential with it. You know what I mean? I saw the potential with it.
Now, do you make them or do you buy them?
Nah, so I got a distributor that I get them from. You know what I'm saying? One is here and the other one's overseas as well too.
How is that? I mean? How is the not to get into a whole hour on?
I can't tell you all my secrets though, bro.
You can't tell me how it's
go ahead
made.
and ask me the question.
Well, I just want to know is how is this made? Is this
that's the thing. Since I don't make them, I can't take because I get it from a distributor. They actually make them.
Right.
They got all the technology and all the machines and all that good stuff.
But they're all natural, right? But it's natural.
Yeah, well, you got your essential oils that are natural. Gotcha. But anything that has like a John Paul Gaultier scent or Gucci Guilty scent, you know, the bases will be natural. But when you're adding the name of a particular scent, then it become natural no more. Right. But what's natural, which I still carry, will be like peppermint, lavender, pure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things of that nature. But as far as the base of the oil, yeah, it's somewhat natural for sure. Like I said, no animal byproducts, no alcohol, and no oil or no cut.
So the essential oils, those can not only be used for body, those could also be used for like dehumidifiers and things like that.
Man, you can do whatever you want to do it, man. I've seen all kind of creative shit with that, man.
I used to do not peppermint. What's similar to peppermint that's very strong, like
lavender?
It's like a peppermint, not lavender. What is the eucalyptus? I put that inside of a dehumidifier. Yeah, it's great, bro.
Lit up the whole room, right?
Oh my God, bro! You're breathing well.
My partners that got dreads, my cousins.
Yeah,
they'll take Egyptian musk They'll take Frank and Myrrh,
Okay.
and they'll put it in their hair, and they'll put it in their dreads. Some of the women that I sell it to, they'll put it in their hair.
I'm gonna start doing that on mine.
Yeah, you can do that. You
Yeah.
can put it in your hair. I mean, some people tell me, yo, man, when I wash my clothes, or I just put a little drop in the clothes thing, because it doesn't stain the clothes.
Right.
And they wash it with their clothes, you know.
And you smelling fresh.
And you'll smell nice, you know what I mean? Even with the dryer, they'll throw that. They'll take the dryer, like a plain dryer sheet.
Yeah.
Put the oils on there.
Yeah.
And throw the dryer sheet in there. I mean, just so many things they do with it, man. You know, candles. If they make their own candles, they'll buy it just for the candles. You know, they'll pop the lid off it and throw it in their candles, and whatever they do, how they make their candles, and they'll add it to their candles, man. Like, listen, smell this. Soaps.
Y'all following. Y'all following. Where can they get that? Where can they get? Because you're giving them.
You gotta go to EclipseOils.shop. Place the order. EclipseOils.shop.
Very simple.
We got a website.
And listen,
you know what I mean?
he
You can visit us there.
gave me one. He gave me one hands on right now, and I'm wearing it.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I used it for like 2 days, but you know.
I got it. Hey, well, the thing is too with these is that they last long.
Oh, big time.
Right? These oils will last.
Quality, yeah, for sure. It's all about quality.
That's
all about
we were
quality,
talking about
bro.
that before the
Yes,
show
sir.
started.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into the heritage. Now I gotta ask you, before we get into Little Haiti and your heritage in Little Haiti, were you accepted when you came up here, and how often did you come up here when you were living down south?
Yeah, I mean, I used to come up here for the summers for sure. You know, my grandparents, you know what I mean, came up to Lakou record shop. You know, my grandparents had like 3 houses in Little Haiti. The main one they stayed in was on 53rd. I mean, they had 46, but I used to visit them on 53rd Street. Yeah, my cousins, you know what I mean, my older cousins. Yeah, man, we had no issues. I mean, my grandfather knew everybody.
You know, you had the pass.
Oh man,
you had the beyond the pass. You had the golden ticket.
Then I got my uncles too, running around these streets. I mean, you know what I mean? And not to say we're doing anything bad, you know what I'm saying? But they maintain the community as well. You know, so heavily connected, man. You know what I mean? I mean, I remember just coming to see my grandfather, man. We used to do movie nights, late night. And we'll walk to the movie theater late night and have no issues. You know what I mean? You talking about 10 o'clock at night with you know, 4 or 5 kids, you know, his grandkids.
Right.
You know what I mean? 10 o'clock at night, no security, none of that shit. You know, we get to the movie theater, it's wide open. We're going to the movie theater, it'll be all empty, just us. You know, that's the way he wanted it. You know, so whatever he used to do, the community respected, man, because he showed a lot of love for the community. He took care of the community as well too.
So you know? Growing up, you said this was now your father's side or your mother's side?
This is my mother's side.
Your mother's side.
Now we're talking about Little Haiti is my mother's side.
Little Haiti is your mother's side.
Yeah.
So let's get into your grandparents. First of all, like I said, the mural's always watching over there. We got the mural there. I'm gonna put a picture on that.
For sure.
We say that.
For sure.
But
street name.
The street name, and let's get into it. Like, did you know how influential your family was growing up?
You know, it's crazy. I'll keep it real with you. Not really.
Okay.
Because I always see my grandfather as, we call him granddaddy. I just saw my grandfather. Now, when I go to Lakou, I go to the store, I know he had a lot of people coming in and out doing business with him. Right. You know, sometimes we'll come into the store, we'll make a lot of noise, and my uncle will be like, quiet, your grandfather's upstairs, he having a meeting, you know? And I'll see people coming in and out from downstairs and come out and go in and stuff like that. But I didn't realize the impact that he really had in the community because I didn't grow up in Little Haiti. You know, I just visit Little Haiti. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not till I didn't really get the full impact on how he was until I got older, much older. You know what I mean? And then actually when I moved over to Little Haiti in 2011, you know what I mean? When I moved here, then I started realizing, talking to the people, going places, you know, moving around with my uncle. And I'll be hanging out with my uncle. It'll be a group of people by us, like on 57 Ave, Street, and stuff like that. And then they'll start talking to me about my grandparents, you know, or just the interaction my uncle had with the community. You know, people coming to him, hugging him, you know, Patrick Juice, you know what I mean, showing a lot of love, because my grandparents did a lot for the community.
Of course. And
did a lot for other families as well, too, in the community.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So they heavily support the community, big time, you know? And that goes from, you know, being a businessman, activist. You know, he fought against the immigration. You know what I mean? You know, some of these things I'll probably let my uncle explain, but kind of similar like the Underground Railroad. You know, Haitians will come, you know, they'll make it to South Beach or they'll make it to whatever on land.
Right.
And then at Lakou, he'll get a phone call. You know, we got 40, 50 people coming in. They're over here, Then my granddad will be like, all right, give me 1 second, make a phone call. He'll be like, all right, I sent some people to go pick them up, and we're gonna bring them, you know, to wherever they're gonna bring them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until we can get their immigration status.
The papers correct.
Paper correct. You know, and that could take years or months. You know, so that's how he used to facilitate. That's just one of the many ways he used to facilitate. And he used to fight against the government down on 79th Street of Immigration. Go down there with the people, and he used to raise hell down there as well too.
Right.
You know, on the radio, he'd be on the radio raising hell about the treatment that a lot of Haitians were receiving.
Right.
The injustice. You know that you know they're getting sent back, things of that nature. the Medicare, them not receiving medical treatment when they get here. They're getting refused by the hospitals here in Dade County.
Right.
And then the schooling. You know what I mean? Why the kids can't go to school.
Right.
Dade County did not allow the kids to go to school. You know what I mean? Because they had no papers. And they consider them to be here illegally. They used to call Haitians illegal aliens.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right.
At the same time, the Cubans are doing the same thing.
Right.
But when they get here, wet foot, dry foot, whatever it is, they got the whole shebang, the whole pass.
You know the fucking vibe is Litty Willie, and this season of the Litty Show, we are filming at Elite Styles Barbershop. Shout out to my boy Willie, the owner of the shop. If you're looking for a fresh haircut, make sure you go to Instagram, type in Elite Styles Barbershop. Holler at one of the barbers, they're gonna get you right. While you're at it and while you're watching this commercial, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and do all the stuff the YouTube people say. We out. Because I was reading that he was also connected with the Catholic Church a lot.
Yeah, he was.
The Catholic Church doing work, like you said, where the Haitians were getting treated unjustly.
Yeah.
And he was bringing people in, and the church was actually connected with the Catholic Church. Now, I was trying to find out which church it was, but it was
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. Okay, so
Yeah.
St. Mary's. He was connected with the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church was helping him as well as him helping them.
Yeah.
Getting the Haitians together, and when they get here. I didn't know that they weren't allowed to go to school, so that's something I just learned today.
Yeah, I mean,
their status.
It's crazy because the reason why undocumented kids are now able to go to Dade County School because of my grandfather.
Okay.
And there's a story behind that as well too.
Well, I want to hear it.
I might let my uncle tell that story.
Okay,
give me more detail. Yeah.
Okay.
But he's the reason why. I let my uncle tell that story.
One of the reasons.
Yeah, one of the reasons why undocumented kids now can go to Dade County School because it wasn't happening in the beginning.
Right.
The Catholic church that you're speaking of is St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
Yeah, I believe it's on 75th Street and Northwest.
It's a big one, right?
It's huge.
Real big one?
It's real huge.
Real big
Actually sits on the highest level of elevation.
Yes.
In
they
South
do a lot
Florida.
of baptisms and
A lot of them, man.
Yeah.
A lot of them. And I forgot the name of the priest.
The priest.
High priest too. Very, very well respected. Very powerful priest. I think he's still alive till today. But my grandfather hooked up with him, man, and they played. The church played a major role on supporting him, supporting the Haitians in the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For them to stay and to get their paperwork and things of that nature. Because whenever you're trying to do something, you gotta get allies.
Of course.
And your allies gotta be a lot more. I'm not gonna say powerful, but more influential. Powerful.
Right.
Ain't nothing really more powerful than Catholic Church, to be real with you, across the board. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I said, my uncle will give you the name of the priest that took liking to my grandfather, but he definitely respected my grandfather and believed in my grandfather and backed my grandfather up. That's probably why my grandfather got away with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Because when the smoke came, man, you know what I mean? Heavy smoke will come across. Local government. You even got people in this community that didn't want the Haitians to come in, things of that nature. So he caught a lot of fuss and a lot of, I'm not gonna say hate, but you could say hate from outsiders. You know what I mean? And some of these outsiders had political power, but the way he did things with also other Haitian community leaders as well. It just wasn't my grandfather. You know what I mean? They actually had an organization called HACOT. You know what I'm saying? HACOT. And I let my uncle break that down to you too.
Okay.
Because he's good at that. But with the organization and the supporters, as the support grew, and also the Catholic Church, and also my grandfather also linked up with the Cubans and on 8th Street too.
Right.
With their leadership too. You know what I mean? So he was able to go ahead and network.
That's a powerful coalition.
Powerful coalition, man. So everybody at one point came on the same page, man. And to a certain degree, if things couldn't get done on this side, he went on this side to help get things done. Things don't get done on this side, he went on this side to get things done. You know what I'm saying?
Politician without a tie.
Yeah, definitely.
Politician without a tie.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to talk to him. My grandfather used to talk to him like, "So are you a party?" Like, "Nah, I'm not in politics at all.
Right.
I'm just doing the right thing."
Right, as he should.
You know.
Speaking with your grandfather, what could you say? Because we did have conversations, and you did explain to me that he was a very wise man, and every time you spoke to him, there was a meaning behind something he said. It was just never a conversation you had where it was just nonsense.
Never.
So I want to ask you,
Never.
out of all the conversations you had with your grandfather, what may have been like the most troublesome thing from him, most biggest challenges that maybe he spoke on that you can feel like, damn, that one thing is what really made him, struggle, or not so much struggle, but it was a tough fight for him.
Tough situation.
Yeah.
He had a lot of tough situations. I think it goes back to the beginning of the reason why he left Haiti. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. My grandfather, while he was living in Haiti, He was an activist at the age of 17. This is part of why he has this loudmouth situation, right? He was an activist, and he was with one political party, you know,
who were against Papa Doc.
Who was against Papa Doc, you know what I mean? And like I said, my uncle's gonna break all that down once he gets down. All right, that's why I come see you.
But no, I mean, if people don't understand that history, will let your uncle get to it. But that's something big to go against.
Big time, because my grandfather was on one political party, and that political party was going against Papa Doc, and then when Papa Doc became president, Papa Doc literally had a list of people that he was going and did kill. You know what I'm saying? And it's judges, generals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everyone that went against him and tried to stop him from becoming president, he had that list. And there's a documentary about Papa Doc in that list too. And my grandfather was on that list.
Wow.
Okay? So he came from my grandfather. So my grandfather took a trip. I think he went to like the southern or northern part of Haiti to do some business. Came back. When he came back to his hometown, the locals and even his father was like, listen, Vita, you got to go.
Gotta go.
He's like, what do you mean I got to go? He said, Papa Doc is looking for you. They got people here looking for you. He's coming to get your head.
Wow.
You know? So
this is not no movie mafia. This is
movie.
Real life.
This is real shit. Die. Yeah, he's gonna die. Like he was gonna die. He already had the people. He already had his goons or his squad in the community tapping on doors looking for my grandfather. So my grandfather, his dad, my great grandfather was like, listen, you gotta go. You gotta go. You know what I mean? Because he wants your head. So this is what happened. My grandfather ended up leaving. You know, he ended up leaving Haiti for his safety and for his family's safety. You know what I mean? But he left. You know what I mean, for his safety, man. And then when he left, he ended up going to Texas, and then from Texas to New York. You know what I mean? But that's the reason why. So just imagine if Papa Doc would have got to my grandfather, first of all, I would have never had uncles, and I probably wouldn't be in existence. Would have been done. Yeah, it would have been done. And then there would have never been no Little Haiti. Right. You know what I mean? Because he was forced out of his home country through Papa Doc. Right. You know? So that's where the story starts, man. So that's one of the biggest challenges for him to survive that. Another challenge is just getting the community involved. Together. You know, getting the community together, trying to start organizing the community in different ways, how we're going to take care of our peoples, how we're going to stand up to the injustice that we're facing, discrimination that we're facing, you know what I mean? And how we're going to put everybody together to form this thing that we call now Little Haiti. You know, because remember, Little Haiti was called Lemon City before it became Little Haiti.
All right, we got that on my list.
So you got that.
I got it on my list.
All right.
Did your grandfather get to go back to Haiti before he passed?
Oh yeah, he went back to Haiti. He actually put from where he's from Lakou, it's an island in Little Haiti. He actually put the irrigation, the water system on that island. You know what I mean? So the juice last name, from what I was told, on that island carries a long way. Like we got a lot more family and there's a lot more history as far as what the family, what his father did, you know, which was my great grandfather. Right. What they did on that island as well too. But he did irrigation, which he brought, you know, water into the island, you know, fresh water, you know, digging wells and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that was his contribution giving back to his hometown.
So the name Little Haiti, it was Lemon City, but from what I read, and many may not know this, is that originally he wanted to call it Little Port-au-Prince.
Yeah, he did. But the Port-au-Prince was too long.
Too long.
It was too long.
So did he want to change it, or was he convinced to change it? From what you know,
I mean, he wanted to change it. I mean, he did a news article. I think with Miami Herald, matter of fact. Okay. He was talking to a journalist. Yes. And he was like, you know, Little Port-au-Prince is a little too long. Let me just keep it Little Haiti, simple, straight to the point. You know what I mean? And people can grasp it, especially the outsiders. It's hard for outsiders to say Port-au-Prince, right? Unless you was, you know, you was Haitian. You know, that was natural, but. You know, the Cubans and Colombians and the whites, you know what I mean? You know, Pota, what? You know, nah. We'll keep it Little Haiti. You know what I mean?
And I bring this up because I want it to be a piece of this interview, because I want people that are younger to understand the lineage of just the history of. So now we go from Little Port-au-Prince we go from Lemon City, Little Port-au-Prince to Little Haiti.
To Little Haiti. Well, it never the Port-au-Prince never stuck. He like that same day when he did that interview.
Right. No, I'm just talking history.
Oh yeah,
No, I'm not talking about on paper. Gotcha. No, we went from Lemon City to Little Haiti.
Right. Gotcha.
When it went from Lemon City to Little Haiti, was there any kind of people going against that?
Yeah, there was definitely. It's a lady. She's still around. Matter of fact, I don't know her name. Mm-hmm. People told me her name. She's still, even now, she's still active. Like she's still like, nah, this. She only sees Lemon City. She doesn't even recognize Little Haiti. Right. You know. My uncle could give you her information and her name there as well too.
I don't want to give her no credit. Let's not.
Nah,
let's
we don't
not
give her
say
no
her
credit.
Name. No name.
But she fought against it. She's well respected in the community
Okay.
through commissioners and the mayors and all that.
Right.
She's been around here forever.
Right.
So she tried to preserve the Lemon City name for the community.
Mhm.
You know, and from what I was told, my understanding that, you know, she ain't even like the fact that a lot of Haitians were coming into this area. You know what I mean? Because remember, Lemon City was occupied mostly by Bahamians.
Got you.
You know, whites and Bahamians.
Right.
Like most of South Florida, even the Grove. So she felt some type of way, however she felt. But you know, when you got some heavy hitters, man, when you got people that, you know, they're not gonna take no for an answer.
Right.
You know,
right.
we see the movement. You know, and my grandparents, both of them, my grandfather and my grandmother, they can. I'm not gonna say they were psychics, but they can always see ahead of themselves.
Right.
You know, they saw the future. You know what I mean? And they're like, yo, South Florida will be the best place for us in our community of Haitians to come into this community and for us to thrive off of and to build.
I mean, we have to understand, and I'm trying to. I sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but we have to understand how impactful you have to be to change a city's name. Like that's like me today changing Homestead to whatever I want.
Whatever, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
You got to think.
Little Mexico or something. I don't
Whatever
know.
it is, you know what I'm saying? Like think like let's think how influential you have to be and how powerful you have to be to change a city's name.
Yeah, and didn't ask nobody. He didn't get no permission from nobody. He ain't go to no commissioners, no mayors,
right.
no politicians, no judges.
So that's my next thing. How did it happen? From what you know, how did the name from Lemon City go to Little Haiti?
I think the movement. So you gotta understand, like, and this is what I tell people: when the people back you, you can overthrow anything.
Right.
Because the people are backing you.
Right.
That's your threshold. That's your powerful. That's your horsepower.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then the fluctuations of Haitians coming in, and knowing that, you know, they have an opportunity, especially leaving Haiti and coming here and seeing an opportunity. They want that. You know. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna be part of the movement, of course. You know. And then when you have people like my grandfather and other Haitian community leaders backing them, you know, and everyone becomes one. And once you become one, how can you stop that?
You're taking over.
Yeah, how can you stop that?
You're taking over.
You know, now you got to sit on the sideline no matter what you are, no matter what commissioner or mayor, whatever you do.
Right.
That's how they get in office, the people.
Right.
So the people just had a different agenda. We want our spot. We want our space. You got Little Havana, you know, you got, Little Haiti. Like we're here.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's what it was, man. And then, you know, everyone came, man. It was a force to be reckoned with. You know what I mean? So it happened.
I want to talk about another fun fact, which is the newspaper that nobody talks about. Your grandfather created one of the first French language newspapers for Haitians in Miami. Right. What role did that play in the community?
That was major. I can't think of the name right now. It's funny because I just had that conversation with my aunt the other day. When I was living on 46th Street. So my grandfather had connections to the newspaper, and him and my grandmother started selling the newspaper to the community.
Right.
And this is how, you know, before the media, internet, social media.
Right. That was social media.
That was social media.
That was Instagram and Facebook.
That was all the above, you know what I mean? That and radio.
Right.
So the newspaper allowed the Haitians here that made it here in the U.S. and South Florida, Little Haiti, to see what's going on in Haiti and vice versa. So he kept the communication going through and be able to link both regions through the newspaper. And he distributed the newspaper. You know what I mean? Selling it, getting out, you know, doing the whole. It was like the Haitian Miami Herald.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was real big in the community too, because it kept everyone in the community informed what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that was real big, man. But that's another thing I let my uncle touch on that, you know, because he's a journalist. That's his forte.
And one more question before we get to your uncle and get your uncle on the segment here. We talk a lot about your grandfather. We talk a lot about what Vita. How do you pronounce it?
Vita Juice. Vita Juice. Vita, and my grandmother Maria Juice.
That's what I want to get into. So we talk a lot about your grandfather, but I feel like your grandfather was as powerful as he was because of the woman that was behind him, or aside of him, I should say. I won't even want to belittle and say behind him, but aside of him. Give me something powerful and something you can remember about your grandmother.
Well, let me tell you something, and this comes from all of my aunts and my uncles, and even friends of the family. My grandmother was the powerhouse, the true powerhouse of my grandfather. I mean, my grandfather would consult. We call her Mamita. Mamita was her name, Maria Juice, but Mamita what we call her. My grandmother was a very powerful woman, very knowledgeable. She took care of the finances. You know what I mean? She made sure that the family grew, stuck together, kept everybody in line. A lot of sacrifices from her.
Yeah.
But she was definitely a brainchild of this Little Haiti operation, even before it became Little Haiti. You know what I mean?
Right.
Without her, I don't think my grandfather would have been as successful as he was before passing away. A lot of memories of my grandmother, man. My grandmother, so many memories, man. But one of them is, first of all, my grandmother started working at the Jewish home, a Jewish hospital that they built on 53rd Street,
Right?
down the street.
Yeah.
She was the first Haitian nurse.
Wow.
She got a nursing degree at age 50.
Wow.
And then when she got in as one of the first Haitian, the only Haitian nurse,
Right.
she got in, she did her thing, got in, and she started bringing other Haitian nurses in there.
Nice.
Okay, under her umbrella.
Yeah.
So this is how they started, Haitians started moving as far as nursing goes at that particular location. But one of the things my grandmother always used to do, like, for example, and I'll never forget this, like when my first son was born, Kadon, he actually gave him the name Kadon. She didn't see him for like 6-7 months.
Right.
And I didn't want to bring around too many people because, he was still developing his lungs and stuff like that.
Right.
And I went to my aunt's house in Miami Shores, and my grandfather and my grandmother was there. And my grandma, I was outside with my cousins, doing what we do.
Yeah.
And then one of my aunt came, she was like, Winnick, you need to come in the house. Mommy thought I want to see you.
Uh-oh.
And that never happens.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit, what happened now? So I go in there, make sure I straighten up, you know what I'm saying? I'm good.
Get right,
I'm
get
look
right.
crazy, don't smell, don't smoke,
Get right.
whatever. I get right. I go in there. She's like, come here, sit down. I said, all right. I sit down with her, my grandfather. She goes, why have I not seen your son, Kadon, the youngest son? Why am I asking you for your son? She literally said, you got 24 hours to bring him to me. So I'm gonna give you 24 hours. She said, where is he? I said, no, he's home. Tom was married, with his mom, my ex-wife, she home. He goes, you got 24 hours to bring him. Now I brought him within like 22 hours. Okay? I brought him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those are the type of situations you don't want to even get into with her, you know what I mean?
Right.
A lady that's so powerful, so passionate, that takes care of everybody, and those type of things you don't even fall short of when they ask, when they request certain things.
Right.
I don't care if it's a glass of water.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care if I'm down
Make it
south.
happen.
She calls and say, I need you to come up here, have dinner or whatever. Or I need you to go pick something up. It could be it could be across the street from her. And I could be down south. She calls us, boom, we got to go and take care of that.
Make it happen.
All right, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Very powerful and very respected woman. When she passed away, they had her funeral at Notre Dame, which is right down the street. That church probably holds about, 2,000 people plus. Mm-hmm. Man, my grandmother probably had about 1,500 people there, man. I mean, inside the church was so packed that the only way I was able to sit down in there for my own grandmother's funeral is that when I walked and saw my grandfather sitting in the front row, my Uncle Philip called that when I was going to come and sit down with you. He was giving a speech about his mother, and then it was so packed that my grandfather tapped somebody on the lady out next to him, told him to get up. That dude got up, wiped the seat and everything, and he was like, you grab me so you sit down right next to me.
Bless.
You know what I mean?
Bless. And
then just hearing the people talk about my grandmother and her legacy, how she helped so many people.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? She helped people when she started doing nursing, she helped people get cars. She helped homes throughout the nurses.
Right.
You know what I mean? They used to run, like, not numbers, but she used to collect money.
Right.
Like a Haitian lotto type situation.
Yeah.
And then, and someone would, at that month, that'll be a payout, and that money will go to a particular person. You know what I mean? So she helped them send their kids, like her friends, like her nurses, her kids to college. I mean, like I said, man, when you talk about community love, man, they called her the matriarch of Little Haiti. The matriarch of Little Haiti. And my grandfather was the godfather or father of Little Haiti as well, too. So many people will come to Le Corzel, come to my grandmother for advice or even blessings, before they did something, before they went to school, before they took a trip, before they started their own business.
Right.
They wanted the blessings from my grandparents, you know what I mean, because of how influential they were with the community, So these are some of the things, man, that I've seen, I witnessed, even firsthand myself being summoned to do certain things. Yeah. And just showing the love, and then seeing, like, we do parties at my aunt's house in Little Haiti, and you got like 200 people at the party. You know what I mean? Just people all over the place.
Right.
The parades that they used to do on Le Corzel on 79th Street, things of that nature. Just thousands of people in the streets, man. Organized parades that they used to do in Little Haiti. You know what I mean? Just to keep that community sense. So these are the things I remember coming and remember seeing. You know what I mean?
Well, bless Miss Mamita.
Mamita.
Bless Mamita.
Oh, for sure.
We got to keep that name alive, and that's why I brought that up, to make sure that we talk about your grandfather, but we also always put them both in one conversation.
Yeah, man. I think because of my grandmother on both sides, her and my grandmother down south. Like I think this is the reason why, when it comes to women, right? I have a certain type of standard of what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like women that are very independent, very respectful. You know what I mean? Because I've seen how powerful, how long way that goes. You know what I mean?
Right.
I ain't gonna say I made the best decisions all the time, but
we human.
Because of because of your family,
Right.
When your family sets the standards of certain things, your
Correct.
dad, your brother, you kind of want to keep those same values,
Yep.
and then also you want to instill those values not only in yourself, but you want to,
Your
like my
offspring.
kids, I want to
Right.
instill them to my kids as well too.
100%. You know the vibes. My name is Litty Willie, and interviewing Kadon here, and Kadon, we were talking, and a couple of questions that I brought to you, you said, I gotta wait for Unc, so Unc took his time from the studio,
He
right?
made it.
He made it.
He made it.
So let him introduce himself. Give him the mic. Let him talk. Let him talk to the people real quick.
Yeah, my name is Carl Philippe Schuss. I'm a photojournalist with the Miami Herald and proprietor of IPC Visual Lab. Also, I run a art space, IPC Art Space, and I'm just trying to make the world a better place. You know what I mean? So.
And you're doing it very great by starting off in your own backyard. I gotta say that.
Yeah, it's always good to be in Lakou. You know what I mean? This is the garden my father built.
Awesome.
So
definitely agree with that. Yeah. So so we just want to talk about a little bit more about Mummy Thigh and Granddaddy, getting the history of them. I know you know a lot more as your parents. You know what I mean? Of course, you was raised by them firsthand, of course.
The newspaper we wanted to get into. Let's talk about the newspaper.
Yeah, let's start with the newspaper that Mummy Thigh and Granddaddy ran off of 46th Street and how important it was to the community.
Yeah, my father, when I was a kid, I used to go with him to pick up Haitian Observateur, which was a Haitian paper out of New York, Montreal. And when he moved down to Miami, he said, I think we should have our own because we have so many Haitians here, so many Haitian-related issues. So he started IET Florida, and that was kind of like my first exposure to publishing because he did everything. He wrote, he was not a graphic artist, but he found people that could put the paper together, and then I'll get on my little bike and toss the paper out Haitian style.
Right. Authentic pepper boy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it was kind of cool. But my father was dead on in terms of what he thought this country should be. That he rest in power. He infused an enormous amount of integrity in my surname. Not to say I'm perfect, but a lot of things I didn't do in life because I didn't want to tarnish that name my father put in place. And my mom, she's the boss.
He said that earlier.
Yeah,
he said that earlier.
Mean, she's a puppet master, man. She pulls strings, make things happen. Make 9 sandwiches out of 2 breads. That kind of magic.
Yeah.
That kind of like black magic people in the Caribbean understand. And they understood the importance of having a sense of space. As we're sitting here in Lakou in a beautiful afternoon, we got kind of like the Haitian breeze, touching our ears. You know what I mean?
Flags hitting everything.
Light is just beautiful.
Right.
You couldn't pay for this,
right,
but you could create it, and that's what my father and my mother did. They really tried and made sure that they created a space that all immigrants throughout the Caribbean, Latin America, felt that they were welcome, felt that they were deserving of respect. And I'm here, my boy right here, Joe. He's holding it down for us.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and he operates the space with integrity.
Right.
And you find very few businesses. I take that back. There's a lot of businesses in Little Haiti that operates with integrity. Little Haiti that I know of. Place I go eat, the place I get my coffee. So I think my parents understood the value, the added value of integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the legacy they leave behind. That's why we're talking about it right now.
That's right. I always tell Kadon every time I come here that they're always watching over us on that mural over there. And I always ask him, and I want to ask you, do you think you're doing them right and making them proud with the legacy that they left you? Are you succeeding with that?
My hands are too short to box with my parents. They're my gods.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
They operate in his spirit. So I'm just blessed, bro. I don't. If I have to put 50 socks on to fit my father's shoes, I'll do it. All right. I don't think he cares the size of my shoes, how far I walk.
There you go.
And I walk in his path. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when I walk in his path, there's a certain amount of struggle that you have to understand, you have to go through. You know what I mean? That path is not easy. Take the good with the bad. Take the good with the bad.
That's right. That's right.
And what keeps you straight is your integrity.
Yeah.
Can't be bought. You know, don't care about cheating or stealing. And that's how they operate. Right. There are two individuals that found a way to make a whole lot with very little.
And integrity is very, very important. Yeah. Very important.
Key, bro. I mean,
you don't have to be rich or poor. Integrity goes a long way throughout just people in general. You lack integrity, you're not a human being, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you want to judge a person? Check his friends.
Yep.
Check his friends, bro. Check his friends, and then you know exactly. So if you check my parents' friends, that's who's who, and not only in Haitian culture, but in I mean,
everything.
We have Clintons, and they had Andrew Young. I mean, they knew my father by first name.
Right.
Politicians, musicians, academics, diplomats,
churches.
It's that legacy of integrity I'm talking about.
Right.
See, that's not no pixie dust.
Right.
That's the real gold.
Right.
We ain't shaving
like
off.
You said, the who's who.
Yeah, the who's who. And it's not something they flaunt.
No
more. It's not something I flaunt. It's not something my nephew flaunts or you flaunt.
It's a factual bag.
It's a factual. You know what I mean?
You don't have to say it.
You don't have to say it. It just is.
It is right.
So,
right.
So my parents, they had that integrity locked down, and everybody they interacted with, they demand that from them. That was the exchange. Integrity. They didn't care. My parents spoke 4 different languages fluently.
Well, I'm honored to be sitting next to you and your nephew.
Yeah, fluently. He come here and speak Spanish with you like it was like yesterday, like no problem.
Embarrassing enough, I don't speak Spanish. So
that's okay. Embarrassing enough, I don't either.
They would have taught me something.
I understand a whole lot.
Oh, me too.
I just can't speak
respond.
I can't respond.
Right,
I can nod. You know what I'm saying? So, but they spoke the language of integrity.
Right.
And that's the bigger point. That needs no translation.
It's a universal language.
Language. I come to your crib. They'll offer you, would you like something to drink?
No.
Are you comfortable? They'll get up, they get off their own comfortable spot and give it to you.
That's right.
And that's what they've done to the community.
Yeah.
And we're better off for it. I mean, Little Haiti don't belong to Haitians, they belong to the world. This is our, I think Little Haiti is, in spite how bad you treat us, in spite how the negativity you run us through as Haitians in South Florida, there's still some great people, because when we're protesting at INS, that was the Immigration National Service, Natural Services building right here on 79th Street.
Yeah.
All people showed up. All. And we have to operate. My parents operate like fingers to a fist.
And that was that integrity. Going back to that integrity. Anybody that stood for integrity will be there, because it like I said, it's a universal language.
Exactly.
It's a universal language. You don't have to be black, white, Chinese, Asian, Puerto Rican, Jamaican. If you're you're full of integrity, people will stand by you.
Right. They might not know what they see. They might not know what you're saying.
Right.
But I stand by this guy.
They don't understand what you're talking about. That's
because what they say about kids don't hear
color.
you.
That's right.
They don't hear you. They see you.
Right.
They watch what you do.
Right. Here to call you fat if you're fat.
Oh yeah.
That's just what it is. You want to understand?
They ain't gonna sugarcoat it. But it doesn't come from a place of malice.
No, it doesn't. It comes from the truth. It comes from truth.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead. No.
Let me ask you a question. Give us 2 of your most memorable times with your mother and your father, mommy, dad, and granddaddy, and it could be anything from personal or to even something that's community related. I know it's a lot, huh?
2 that sticks out.
Yeah, 2 that sticks out.
That sticks out. Oh man, I remember when I graduated from the 8th grade at Jesu. Um, I didn't want to burden my parents with paying the $30 a person ticket back then. Probably a little less. It was probably maybe 15.
Still a lot
Back
back
in
then.
72.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
73. And actually it was 77. And I told the principal, I said, "Hey, are you coming to the graduation?" I said, "Nah, let's skip that." She goes, "You gotta come to the graduation." I go, "Why?" She goes, "You gotta come." She says, "Don't worry, we got tickets for your whole family." How many people coming? We run 6 deep, right? So sure enough, parents rolled up. We're at the graduation of this hotel called the Everglades Hotel in downtown Miami. Prestigious hotel back in the day. And we're having our banquet, our 8th grade banquet, and the awards were being called out. Best in this, and then I'll go up, right? And then I go back and sit down, and they'll say best in that, award for this, and I'll go up. So at the point they just let me stay up there, right? And I remember seeing my parents, right, looking at me, and when you have a moment of clarity,
right,
that you understand all your sacrifices, all your blessings,
they were genuinely
and all your
proud.
setback.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing my dad. He was like, I made the whole damn place cry. Area was not a dry eye, and I gave a speech. I'm not lying to you. It was not a dry eye in the place. And my speech was about, we immigrants, right? We have to give when we come here. Even though we left everything else behind.
Right.
So we understand not having.
Right.
So if we have a little bit, if we have a half a sandwich, I'm gonna cut you a corner of it.
Share it. That's right.
You know what I mean? Because that's how, I think that's why America fears us. Because we're not really caught up in this
keeping
and acquiring things, and we're all about creating community. Again, we in Lakou. This is all about community.
Right.
And that was one of the proudest moments because my father finally understood that his work had brought me to create my own community. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, people are coming back talking to him. "Oh my God, your son is amazing. Oh my God, he had us all crying." And I saw the pride in him. And then another time, I won an award, and I brought them to me and Leonard Pitts, who were talking at the Lyric Theater in Overtown.
Okay.
And we worked on this project called I Am Man. And it was like a town hall meeting. We're talking about black men. This is right after Obama gets elected. About the whole, racism, police violence. This predates the Black Lives Matter.
Right.
But it was in the same spirit as that.
Correct.
Right? So I remember my dad and my mom. My dad gets up, and Leonard Pitts, we're sitting just like we're sitting here, and he goes, "Hey, this man back there has a question." And my dad came with a hard question, bro. He came hard on me, like, and I'm like, he says, and Leonard Pitts says, "Man, your father don't play." I said, "No," because he wants to understand. It's not like he's trying to put me down.
No.
He's trying to make me rise up.
Right.
And he wants me to rise up to this occasion. Right. And I sure damn did.
Good.
And we were going back and forth, and he was trying to convince me. And I said, "Dad, I don't carry the. Unfortunately, I cannot carry your weight, but I can carry our weight. I'll do my part. You've done your part, and when I have my son, he'll do his part. But I can't carry your weight.
Right.
Right. I can only carry our weight.
Right.
Right. So he was throwing weight at me. Right. And I'm like, "Nah, Dad."
You stood in the paint, though.
Yeah, I stayed in the paint. Yeah. I said, "But it's our weight. It can't be yours."
Right.
So in order that to change, you have to hear my point, my side of it. And we went back, and he just smiled, and he said, "Son, you're very much like me." I said, "Well, you're my first hero."
He loved the healthy competition. He loved it.
What?
He loved it.
Him and my mom, never get between them in a deck of cards.
Leave it alone.
No.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
That woman, boy, remember being a kid, I would walk down Pinking Avenue in Brooklyn, and my mom was so beautiful. Any man or woman saw her, and you'd just be mesmerized. Mesmerized. Not just the way she looked, it's the way she made you feel.
Yeah.
You know, you meet people like that.
It's the aura.
Oh yeah, it's like
Aura.
she was like, her name was Maria. She might have been the Madonna.
It's the aura. She carried the aura that just made everybody, no matter what.
And that's what they bring in that. I think that's why I hate Little Haiti is the way it is.
Mhm.
The connectivity I have to Little Haiti. It's because that aura, though they have, they have somewhat transitioned, right? But they never left me.
The soul will never go.
Oh man,
The soul will never go.
Memories is either the gift left behind or the burden left undone.
Oh, I like that one.
So
I like that one.
You got to choose which one it's gonna be.
I like that one.
Right?
Talking about Little Haiti and talking about your nephew. How proud are you for him starting this whole comedy thing and keeping it locked
not
in?
only that, he's got his oil game. He was instrumental in getting the street name after my parents.
Right.
He always stayed connected, though he moved out of the neighborhood. Always found his way back home. I'm very proud of him. I mean, he breathes from the breath of his grandfather.
The juice.
He breathes over the breath of his dad.
Right.
And
my uncles too.
And uncles too, yeah, and aunties, and you know what I mean. But we're tight knit. Look, we were 8 deep. We're 8 deep, right? For about a minute, and every brother and sister I had maybe 10 or 15 really tight friends. They didn't have cliques. They had family. They had homies.
Right.
Because when we rolled down Bushwick, rolled down Central Avenue in New York City in the 70s, couldn't roll by yourself. You gotta stack up. You gotta stack up. So we had our Dominican brothers, our Puerto Rican brothers, our African American brothers, right? And when we roll, my brothers roll.
Back when better times when minorities just stuck together. It wasn't
stuck together. It was no competition.
No competition.
It was like, no, man. Look, my thing is elevate so we all can be great.
That's right. That's a fact.
It's a pull up, not to push down.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I hate to get cliche, but I always say that that's what Big Brother wants. They want us to be divided, and it sounds cliche. It sounds super cliche, but they want us to be divided because as we stand together. Once again, I hate to sound cliche. As we stand together tonight, united, we can supersede so many things.
We can move things, bro.
You don't understand, bro. Like our culture is what they thrive off. I mean, just look at entertainment. I don't want to go too deep into it, but you working for the Miami. I mean, look. The culture, what is the highest number selling of cultures? Just, urban culture, hip hop culture, all these things, and
everything that has color.
Right.
Everything that has color. Not only our culture, our intellect.
Our intellect,
the things we devised that were not credit to us.
Right.
Right.
Our hair.
Our style, our grace.
Yes. Our pride.
Even Gucci and Fendi steals our patterns out of Africa. And look, this ain't no conspiracy theory. It's the truth. It's just that, there is Europeans always have to deal with hierarchy. You go to Haiti, you'll never hear a top 10 list, the best is. I mean, the kids may talk about who's better than
Right.
But I don't go and say, oh, this place makes the best grill. Look, if the food is good,
it's good.
It's good. Right? It's good.
And if you're not doing something you're supposed to be doing that's bad, you'll probably be closed down by the community.
By the community.
By the community be like, hey, I can't.
We don't need to rank you.
Right. We just
don't need to rank you because we all can survive.
Right.
We all can survive and participate in our own Lakou.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
So we keep moving, we keep pushing. This moment we're going through now, it's temporary. As temporary as you want it to be.
Yep.
Every day morning I get up to work and fight against it.
There you go.
I try not to hold any prejudice towards Jews, Muslims,
just love. You just want
love. I mean, poor white people, I got as much in common with them as they got with me.
Yeah.
The only problem is they can't get over the color of my skin and my intelligence, my brain.
Right.
They've been fed They've been fed some bad food of knowledge. Really
and
bad.
sometimes we can't even blame the ignorant people because, like you said, this is things that they're fed. Because, like we were just talking about children 10 minutes ago, where children, they're born not to see color.
No.
You go to a preschool and you see kids playing with each other. There's no kind of color or creed or any kind of segregation at all.
Nope.
As they get older, they're being fed and brainwashed into believe that that's bad. This is bad. And unfortunately, they get told that a color or a language or even now a political background is bad and you can't be with that person. That's the divide. That's the divide that sucks between us. And that's, I think you and your bloodline and your family for just meeting people like Kadon and then meeting people like you because you keep the sense of unity alive.
Well, I try. I mean, it's work, You
do. You don't try.
Yeah,
try is when you leave room for failure.
No. There's always failure.
Right, but you refuse
but I built
to fail.
I built my success on my failures.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would better say then there's never losses. There's always lessons.
That's right.
They got this thing they say, you fail until you succeed.
That's right.
You fail until you success.
Right.
They say fall down 8, get up 9.
There you go.
That's right.
That's
right.
So I want to ask you another question too, to kind of bring it back. Let me ask you a question. So, kind of bring it back to Little Haiti, to Mommy Thon Granddaddy, real quick. All right. What was the ultimate goal amongst Mommy Thon Granddaddy for the community of Little Haiti?
Well, the community is a family to my parents, so the always ultimate goal is look out for family. So my mom, she had a finance mechanism that allowed people to get 0 interest loans.
Wow.
And I brought my cameras with that loan, that financial system. I brought my first car with that financial system. People brought their houses, paid for their weddings. They got caught up in a jam. And my mom was like, yo, she was like, look, we got to pull our resources together, our money together. She ran that to the day she transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all based on honor, all based so everybody pull their money and help you out.
Right.
And then next week with somebody else, they pull their money and help them out.
That's a blessing.
And I'm telling you, I'm about thousands upon thousands of dollars. I mean,
and that's how community.
And now it was built. People got their car. People were able to pay for their nursing license. My mom helped people with getting to nursing school, studying at Lindsay Hopkins and going to Miami-Dade and then going to University of Florida. And she mentored these young minds,
right?
Because she felt that we need our own healers, right?
We do.
We need people who can feel our pain and relieve us of it. Not to say somebody else can't.
No, you're right.
But
you're right. You're 100% right.
When I tell you I had grill last night and I got a pain, oh yeah, you had too much grease. Remember, check that blood pressure.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. And it's funny you say that because I say that's one of the things wrong, in my opinion. This is only my opinion. That's wrong with policing. I feel like policing, if we did community policing, meaning if you grew up in Little Haiti, you wanted to be a police officer, you should be a police officer in Little Haiti.
Right.
And vice versa. Because, a guy that grew up in Ball Harbor may not know the dynamics of a person from Little Haiti. So putting him as a police officer here, it's a failure for him.
Yeah.
Automatically it's a failure for him. We may call it from the outside looking in, him being racist and wanting to kill somebody, but in the opposite side of it, he's never had somebody come up to him and challenge him for anything. So in fear, he shoots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. What I'm trying to say is that we need to start focusing more on community and building our own communities up. Stop being greedy. Stop being shameful from where we're from. Because a lot of people are shameful. They become a nurse.
Right.
They don't want to be a nurse in the city. They want to be a nurse in the rich city.
Right.
Or they want to be. Why?
I learned the craft.
Yeah.
You know that saying, right? It takes a village to raise a child.
That's right.
I think we used to have that, even my generation too. Pretty sure my uncle had in his generation and generations before, but I think we lost that sense of the village. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
To a certain degree. You know what I mean?
But you guys keep it alive. I want to say you guys keep it alive.
We try.
You do it.
But it's work. But it's work. It's getting up every morning and saying to yourself, I'm gonna make this day a little bit better.
But was that not what your parents were doing?
Exactly. I mean, we don't complain in our house. My dad was all about problem solving.
That's right.
Not pointing out problems.
Solutions.
Finding solutions. If you walk into a room and there was 6 chairs, there were 7 people, you get a chair.
Yeah.
Knock on the neighbor's door. Hey, can I buy a chair?
Right. Right.
Bring it right back.
Right. Create a bench if you have to. I don't
Create
care
a bench.
what.
But find a solution.
That's right. Solution.
But you know what? To be honest with you, in the process of trying to in this case preserve the legacy of not only his parents, my grandparents, and also Little Haiti.
Huh?
But what I've discovered in this process is also that everyone is also not for you.
That's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
a fact.
And the people that you thought you really had in your corner, and when it's time to put them to that test and try to stand up, they're gonna sit down or they're gonna leave the room. But they'll sit there all day until I got your back, I got this, that, and the other, you know.
Yeah.
And then you realize, you know what, I only got me and my dreams and my goals to make whatever I need to make happen.
That's right.
And find the best way to make it happen.
Right.
And try to go through the channels of try to find your true supporters and try to work with them to get what we got to get done, you know, accomplished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. And this is the reason why I think some people may fail, maybe at the first, second, even third attempt of trying to get something accomplished, because you expect things out of people that you could swear you sitting on the stand like, yeah, you're on the right hand up. I swear to God, they'll go to war for me.
Right.
But once it's time to go to war, man, they ducking and busting. You know what I mean? So then you find yourself by yourself. And what do you do as an individual? You stop doing it?
No.
Okay, no, you can't, because
No,
you're already in motion.
No.
And this is your dream. Everyone is not gonna be
See
behind
your
your dream and behind your goal.
Unfortunately, you can't because it's your dream.
Because it's your dream. You know? But they'll tell you, go for it.
Right.
Let's do it.
Right.
They'll say, let's do it. We can do it. And then once you start going, they're like, they start seeing, you know, how complicated it is. They start seeing the type of machine you got to deal with. They start feeling the harassment you got to go through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Diversity
You got to go through, and they back out of it. So I think this is what it is. I think it's for anybody out there, man. Like, just go for your goal, go for your dream. You know, rely on yourself, believe in yourself, and just pray, man. You know, you got to have a higher power to help you push. And then guess what? The universe is gonna bring the right people.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, look, man, you got to always operate with purpose, right?
Ooh, yeah, definitely.
Always operate
with
purpose.
Operate with purpose.
You know, you got to be intentional in your process, intentional in your blessings, and also intentional in your service. You got to serve with intention.
Yeah.
You can't go and say I'm gonna serve and then find yourself in a position where I feel like this job is above
No.
it's above me, no, or lower than my standards. No, when you serve, you serve.
That's right. I was always told that if you're a toilet bowl cleaner, be the best toilet bowl
Best
cleaner
you can.
there is. Make sure those toilet bowls are white because you took the responsibility on doing that job. If you don't like it, then don't work it.
Yeah. Find what you love.
Find what you like, but don't make everybody else life
miserable because you're stuck in a dead end job.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
You know, if you're going around, tell kids a lot. You know, this half glass, half empty. It doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything if you're thirsty.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Stay thirsty.
That's a fact.
Right? Stay thirsty. Get up. You know, stay thirsty. Stay hungry, but be disciplined in how you eat.
Respectful.
Be disciplined how you drink.
Yeah.
And be careful how you entertain strangers.
Be
very, very careful how you entertain strangers.
I like that one.
You don't let everybody through your front door.
No, I don't. I mean, because my peace is the most valuable thing I have.
That's a fact.
You know,
like time, money can't buy it.
Yo,
you don't. Like time.
I don't give my time. My time is not my time to give.
Right.
But it's my time to spend. I choose how I spend my time.
Factually.
Right. So if I want to spend my time working and building something and being about something greater than who I am individually, if that's where I want to spend my time, then I want to spend my time with people who think the same way I do.
That's right.
I ain't trying to go to the club and spend $500 on bottle service.
Right.
It doesn't mean I won't take my family and we go have a $500 dinner.
Right.
Time well spent.
Time well spent with the family. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
go buy $500 worth of bottles and just go to the studio and look at some art.
All right. or like buy $500 with the drinks.
Yeah.
And invite friends over to the studio.
Right.
And we just chill.
Right.
Right?
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, man.
Makes a lot more sense.
stretch the yard, baby, stretch the yard. You know what I mean?
Okay, I know your time is limited, and we got our next act coming in, so I got two more questions for you before we close out.
Yes, sir.
Number one is, how important was it to get that street name under your legacy, under your family crest? How important was that?
It wasn't important to me. It was important to me every day. So I know who my parents were. The reason why you put names on streets is to honor those who have worked hard and to educate those who are ignorant.
Right.
So, I mean,
you knew it already.
Hey,
look, I could add on to that too.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, to me, it was extremely important because you gotta remember we was facing gentrification. I'm going to the meetings.
Got you.
Seeing these, developers and commissioners and mayors or whatever the case is, city managers talk about how they're gonna just rip Little Haiti apart and build these new construction buildings and stuff like that. But at the same time, as I'm walking to the culture center to go to these meetings, I'm seeing the neighbor across the street losing his building. Okay, I'm seeing business owners that have been here for 20, 30, 40 years getting kicked out in the street as they're literally moving their paintings and crying and looking. Right. I'm seeing the misery as I'm going to the meetings.
Right.
So, you know how the universe works sometimes, you know what I mean? So even not even knowing what I'm going to say at these meetings, but that was my fuel to at least, okay, if you guys going to rip Litty Haiti apart, especially the bloodline and our family and what my grandparents did and what they sacrificed, I said, well, at least I could just try to do is get a street name for them.
You did it, brother.
Get a street name for them, and then get murals up for them, you know what I mean?
You did it.
I mean, one of the best feelings in the world, and I'll just keep it real with you, when I come from Broward, I come from work, where I come from down, wherever I'm coming from, and I hit this corner on 59th Street, I see my grandparents looking at me.
Great feeling.
You know what I mean? And now the street is right here. Soon we step out of Lakou, we're stepping on the street.
That's it.
And then you got Lakou, and then you got my uncle's photo gallery, art gallery, right on the corner. He's been there for like, what, 15 years? 12 years? You know?
Since 2008.
2008. Wow. He could step out of his building and see his grandparents looking at him. You know what I mean?
17 years.
You know? And then we got kids. You know, we got other relatives. You know, they come. You know, and then seeing the visitors come.
Yep, Italians,
Russians,
yeah,
Chinese.
We were filming now. And there's
they came in.
4 sets of different visitors.
They go to that mural, man.
They ain't looking for no lemons.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, they coming through, you know.
That's right.
So and it's crazy because we're standing by. They got no idea who we are, but we're standing up. We're standing right next to them, and they taking pictures of the whole family at the mural. Awesome. You know what I mean? So it definitely wasn't like a selfish thing for me. Right. I didn't do it for no ego.
Right.
I just felt like something in my spirit made me like something like I think my grandparents tapped into me and said, "Listen, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to remind the people who we are and what we did, and also the community, that keep the community strong somehow, some way.
And you succeeded.
But if you have no visual, how can you know the history? How can you know what's what? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, individually, me personally, I did my. I mean, remember we did our interview last year, and
right.
when I read on it, I was just.
And you did it out of blue.
Yeah.
Y'all called me from outside. It was at EFN's Crazy Hood's headquarters. Yeah. And then Miami meets Miami.
Yeah.
And then all I heard was Paul goes, "Your interviews." I said, "What you mean interview? I ain't rapping." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Nah, you gonna do an interview with Litty Willie." And when I sat down, first time meeting him, I didn't know his name. All I saw was a backdrop. Then with that, you know, the way he looks now, he was like, "Yeah, so what's going on, Little Haiti, Vita, and Maria Juice?" I said, "Huh?" You know what I'm saying?
I do my homework, bro. Listen, when I talk to people, I like to have the respect of knowing who they are and not just, excuse my language, I don't want to bullshit people because I feel like time is very important. You know, if you're taking the time to sit and speak to me, right. I want to honor you by at least giving you the respect to say, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. Let me give him a good conversation versus, bro, you're wasting my fucking time.
Yeah.
Great conversation.
I'm going to leave you out with this. Every morning, this little old lady, she's sheltered challenge. About 5 o'clock in the morning, she'll sleep right in front of my mother and father on the sidewalk. She'll sleep quietly. And I saw this and I said, damn, something about my parents had always been a place that those who feel that they don't belong, they always find a place to belong with my parents. Peace. And to see her lean that, so every morning my practice is, you know, I get her some water, ask her if she's good, you know, if she needs anything, get her clean water to wash herself, whatever. And I don't know if there's an afterlife, but I know there's this life. And somehow, out of all the places this woman could have chose to lay down, she chose to lay down on underneath the breasts of my father and mother.
Is that her right there? Same one? That's right there. It's one of this. Yeah, go right there.
She had a little shopping cart.
I think so. She's right
Yeah.
there, right next to my car.
Yeah.
I gave her $1 this morning. When
Yeah.
I just instantly.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, you know,
gave
and,
it some-
and I'm
yeah.
like, okay,
It's cool. It's crazy.
this thing is real. You know, this love is real.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, so I'll leave you with that. So,
Appreciate you.
so you know, if you come to Little Haiti, stop by Lakou. If you come to Little Haiti, go by the Culture Center. But if you come to Little Haiti, always be prepared to be welcome.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
You got to come by IPC too. Man.
Yeah,
IPCR
I always tell
space.
people where you can find you.
Yeah,
go ahead, tell them.
IPCR Space. You go to Instagram, handles IPCR Space. If you're, I'm on 225 Maria and Viterra Way, which is Northeast 59th Street. Come through. Follow us on also on LinkedIn. But we have jazz. We have on Facebook. We have jazz. We have book readings. We have activations. We have conversations. You know, podcasts. I mean, look, man. Tell me what you need.
And we got it.
So we got it. Look, we got you.
Well, thank you for your time.
All
I
right,
really
brother.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
We out.
It's the Litty Show. It's the Litty Show. Oh yeah.